It does appear that they have most of the flames out, still smoking behind me. There are some flames in there. It's not believed that the owner was home during the time of this fire. This is approximately 20 minutes south of Billings. You can see the structure fire behind me, and they're out here investigating, going around it. From the looks of it, it doesn't appear that anybody is here, that there are any residents here. Now you are starting to see some of those flashing lights as they're starting to get the presidential motorcade a little bit closer. You're looking at all of those flashing lights from the Billings Police Department working their way down First Avenue North. The south side of Billings is known for its more affordable housing, but as of lately it's been known more for its crimes, such as burglaries and vandalism, like what happened to this window here on this new rental property. So residents here on the south side have taken it upon themselves to call out for help. And it says it's 144 degrees. So because the asphalt here is 144 degrees, that means that I'm sure the asphalt elsewhere is also very hot as well. So you need to make sure when you're walking your pets, you try to walk them on the grass. You don't want to walk them on the asphalt.
And I just said to him, take the car, please don't shoot me, just take the car.
It's an experience no one ever wishes to have.
As soon as I saw the gun, frankly, that's really all I could see.
Paralyzed with fear, Colette Davies was face to face with Ryan McElmurray, who led police on a wild chase through Billings.
Should I get down? Should I run? What's the safest course here? And I felt terrified.
Colette Davies was putting out signs for her campaign when she was ambushed by McElmurray, who decided her car was going to be his next vehicle.
And he was coming straight at me. I first thought he was going to hit my vehicle on purpose with his vehicle, and no matter how I dodged to get out of the way, he just kept coming.
Davies' husband was also out putting up signs just down the street.
He saw the car, our car, take off at that high rate of speed, and he thought one of two things: I was either escaping at a high rate of speed because something was wrong, or that I was trapped in the car with the person who stole it. And either way, he said he just felt sick and terrified.
She says McElmurray went through her daughter's stuff but didn't take any money, just her water bottle.
So he was driving 100 miles an hour and somehow manages to drink from the water bottle. My daughter felt very violated by that.
She says Billings PD will keep her car in the impound until the investigation is over. In Billings, Melissa Scavelli, Montana, right now. It's the kind of sight nestled in nostalgia. The ice cream truck creeping down the street, the music, a beacon to children, and, well, anyone with a sweet tooth under a blistering July sun. There's something special about an ice cream right from the truck and straight from the freezer.
Everybody likes ice cream, you know, and everybody has like good memories about ice cream trucks, and it's just like this joy that is built around this whole industry of like ice cream. And
on this truck is Bailey, and you'd think to see her that she's like any other teen, just working a summer job. But there's more to Bailey's story and how she got to this place. It all starts years ago when Bailey was just a child, not much older than those she is serving on this hot summer day.
I just thought of it like a lot when I was littler, and it was always like an idea, but it never really happened.
Until it did. 2 years ago, Bailey's dad called her at summer camp with some big news.
He's like, I found the truck, we're going to do this.
So Bailey's Frozen Novelties was born. The classic scene of kids chasing the ice cream truck just didn't happen.
A lot of times if I do go into a neighborhood, they'll say like, oh, the ice cream man is already here. And I'm like, oh, dang it, you know.
The rocky road didn't stop there. Just 2 weeks into starting her sophomore year at Montana State University Billings, Bailey got sick.
They found pneumonia in both my lungs, and it was like had spread to my blood, and I was like septic, and they were like, we got to keep you. And it was like pretty bad. Like, it was the sickest I've ever been. And so I was in the hospital for 6 nights. They said it takes like 6 weeks to recover from pneumonia. So I just withdrew from my classes.
After 2 years of not knowing what she wanted to do, Bailey settled on this cool profession. It's not all just fun and games in the ice cream business for Bailey. It's also about saving a little bit of this.
I would have saved like a few grand by not going to school.
Bailey isn't the only one that stopped spending money on school and started earning it with a business. According to data collected by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, she's one of approximately 30,000 young women that chose to be their own boss in 2017.
I wouldn't have done this if I had listened to my own self-doubt. If you do have like a dream in your heart, like you want to do it, if you want to be like a singer, or you want to do like something, I think you should chase those dreams.
Your dream may not be an ice cream truck, But if you follow your heart, you too can be your own boss. Reporting in Billings, Montana, I'm Melissa Scavelli. I'm Melissa Scavelli with what's new at the zoo and with Jeff the Nature Guy, and this little guy back here is having a birthday.
He is, and he's hiding right now because, well, he's old. In fact, the great thing is he's the oldest red panda in North America. We know that to be true. And they generally will live 10, maybe 15 years in a perfect situation. So 20, that's really that's the high end. You're not going to see that often. So we're proud of this little guy. Despite the fact that he looks old, he's still with it really well. He moves around really good, but as you can see, he's blind and he is deaf. He can't hear very well, but other than that, he gets along pretty darn good. We're pretty excited about him.
So he's in here with one other red panda that you guys have.
Yeah, and that's the coolest thing, and it's so much fun for us to watch, and the zookeepers love that. Zoe really takes care of him. Zoe and Taylor have been together for many years, and so, yeah, she helps him around. If he starts walking towards something he shouldn't, she'll kind of corral him the other way, which is pretty good. We have 4 red pandas total here at the zoo. The other 2 are just behind us here, and the other 2 weren't too kind to him, so that's why we have separated all of those 2 and 2 just to give him a little peace and quiet during his last couple of years.
Right. So red pandas are typically in some larger zoos in the same general area as the great panda, or the giant panda.
Yeah. Really the only similarity with the giant panda is the fact they have this specialized wrist bone that allows them to grasp onto bamboo, and so they're going to eat a lot of bamboo, just like the giant panda does as well. So that's really the only similarity between the 2.
There are certain times that the red pandas are typically more active.
Yeah, there are. They're pretty sleepy animals, and they like to sleep during the day. So usually in the morning when we first open up, that's the best time, about 10 o'clock. And then usually towards the evening hours, as we're closing, right around that 4:30, 5 o'clock time frame, it's a good time to come out and see him as well.
You may be able to get a special glimpse of him if you do come check him out here. You can certainly see his friend Zoe here at Zoo Montana. This upper level moisture that's coming in from this low pressure, and that low pressure is going to sit and hang out with us, going to move very, very slowly. So that's what's going to cause all of that rain to stick with us for just a little while longer. The storm is producing quarter-size hail. It has a history of producing wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. We're no longer seeing that, but there are some gusty winds in there, so you just want to make sure that you're on the lookout for that. We've also been seeing some localized flooding in the Billings area, so we're asking that if you do see the roadways flooded with water, that you don't drive on them. Remember the saying, turn around, don't drown. Weather, we also just to the north of us, including areas such as Roundup, Lewistown, all the way into Jordan, has a slight risk for some severe weather. That does include some strong wind gusts going in here as well. We have about a 15% chance of seeing some of those extra strong winds. Projected that crest to be at 13.6 feet. That's just over that minor flood stage. And then we'll see it continue to teeter-totter along that line of minor flood stage. And because that low pressure is so far south, we are seeing everything kind of calm down just a little bit, so we're not expecting as much rain, which is why those river forecasts have gone down just a little bit. But by 7 p.m. we are seeing heavier pockets of rain, even right around the Magic City area and over into Big Timber. Well, thank you so much for sticking with us. If you haven't gone outside yet today, I would highly recommend it because it is beautiful out there. We have a breeze out there, winds coming out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour, so it's calmed down a little bit as we move throughout the rest of your evening hours. We'll continue to see those winds calm down just a little bit, but we are seeing that temperature sitting at 74 degrees, and you're going to want to enjoy this 74 degrees because as we go over the next couple of days, we are going to see those temperatures be on the rise significantly. And even though we said those winds are sitting at 9 miles an hour, we actually have some wind gusts getting up to 17 miles an hour. If you're over in Livingston, you got wind gusts up to 21 miles an hour, and we are still seeing some stronger winds over in the eastern plains, so wind gusts of 28 miles an hour in Miles City, with those sustained winds sitting at 17 miles an hour. Sustained winds of 24 miles an hour up in Glendive. But as we go over the next couple of days, we'll continue to see those winds calming down just a little bit. We are going to keep things just a little bit breezy out there, and those temperatures across the region are beautiful, sitting in those 70s. This is actually where we should be for this time of the year, in these low to mid 70s for most of us. So 71 degrees in Miles City, 74 over in Forsyth, 71 down in Cody, and 72 degrees over in Livingston. And like I said, we're going to see temperatures increase dramatically as we head into your Monday, so into the start of your work week. We're looking at 83 degrees for you on Sunday. Then we're looking at hit 89 degrees on Monday. We can even see some locations getting into those lower 90s. So you're going to want to make sure you have plenty of water if you're out there on Monday. Then we see temperatures dramatically drop back down into the mid 70s by Tuesday before slowly trying to make their way back up into those mid to upper 80s. But as we head into the rest of your overnight hours, it's going to be pretty nice out there seeing those temperatures in the low 50s to mid to upper 40s the further west that you go, but it's going to be mostly clear out there. Maybe a few clouds trying to linger and hang on out, and then we'll get into tomorrow where we see those temperatures climbing back up into those low to mid 80s and into the 70s, so the higher you go. So if you're over down into Red Lodge, you're going to see 74 degrees, and if you're heading out, it's going to be rather warm, so just make sure that you are wearing appropriate clothing and have lots of water with you if you're going over to Zoo, Montana for the Renaissance Festival. And tonight is actually a movie in the park. It's going to be beautiful out there. I would still bring a sweatshirt just in case if you do get a little bit chilly when you get into those 50s. So as we get into tomorrow by 7 a.m., nice clear conditions. We have this high pressure hanging out with us, and it's going to help us out as we go all throughout the day. On Sunday, it's going to remain nice and clear as we get a little bit later into your Sunday evening. That's when into your Monday. That's when we're going to start to see things kind of change a little bit. We have this warm front move in. That's going to give us those 90-degree temperatures on Monday, and then this cold front right behind that is going to drop those temperatures down for us into that 70 degrees for you by Tuesday, and then we'll see things starting to warm back up again into those 80s, but we have no rain chances in there. Maybe a chance for a scattered thunderstorm or what have you as we go into those afternoon hours, but that's kind of that pattern that we have going this time of the year.